O'Reilly Factor, the most powerful name in news. Fox News Channel.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly in a personal story segment tonight. He is the darling of the television critics, the host of The Daily Show on Comedy Central, and now has a book called America, A Citizen's Guide to Democracy in Action. In action, one word. Welcome, Jon Stewart, to the No Spin Zone, everyone.
How are you, sir?
Okay. You know what's really frightening?
Uh-oh.
Do you know what's really frightening?
You've been reading my diary.
You actually have an influence on this presidential election.
Oh,
that is scary.
If that were so, that would be quite
But it is.
frightening.
It's true. I mean, you got stone slackers watching your dopey show every night.
Yeah.
Okay, and they can vote. You can't stop them.
Yeah, I just don't know how motivated they would be, these stone slackers.
Yeah, it just depends if they have to go out that day.
What am I, a Cheech and Chong movie? Stone slackers?
Come on, you do the research. You know the research on your program.
No, we don't.
87% are intoxicated when they watch it.
Oh,
you
no,
didn't see that?
No, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, we have that day.
We come on right after, I believe, puppets that make crank calls.
Yeah.
So we are, I think, the appropriate
and it's a
follow-up from
great
that.
lead-in for you.
I had some wonderful
But
show,
the
by the way,
puppets
if you
can't
haven't seen
vote,
it.
but these dopey kids who
They
watch
actually
you can.
In Florida, they can now.
Puppets can vote in Florida?
They can, as long as they vote Republican.
And they
vote.
haven't committed a felony.
And they haven't committed a felony. That's exactly right.
But you do have some influence. Now, how do you see that? You have influence. John Kerry bypassed me and went right over to you. You're only 4 blocks away. He said, O'Reilly, I don't think so. Stewart, I'm going to go talk to
Well, I have to tell you, and again, I mean no disrespect, but the snack selection backstage, quite
brutal,
frankly,
isn't it?
you know, I don't want to say Guantanamo Bay, but it's a little spare
close.
back there.
It's close. We want people to be hungry when they come out.
I think that's wise. We have what I like to call snack size Three Musketeers, some Snickers, some Milky Ways. If I were a presidential candidate and I had to choose, I think a place that had an energy pick-me-up might be the place I would go.
Do you think that Kerry does himself any good talking to you? Because I think most of your audience is going to vote for him anyway, isn't they? The stone slackers.
If I thought honestly that their strategy hinged upon his coming and talking to me, I would suggest that they are in some deep trouble. I don't know. I feel like if we don't have an agenda of influence. If we have influence, it is peripheral.
Yeah.
And I don't imagine that people who watch the show are watching it to make up their minds in terms of who they think would best prosecute the war on terror. I think they watch to see who would maybe have the best jokes on the war on terror.
But no, here's why I think they. I've been on a show a couple of times. I mean, you obviously make fun of everybody. I'm making fun of your show now, but you get everybody.
We are, in fact, crass and immature.
But you are a show that your target audience is younger, left-leaning, so you have to play to the choir sometimes. But
the real estate is younger just because it's Comedy Central.
And it's at 11 o'clock at night.
I don't know if it's left-leaning. I mean, would you suggest that that blue-collar TV show that does all the, like Foxworthy and all that, you'd consider that a red state show? You know, it's Foxworthy and Bill Engvall.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. They're our lead-in on Monday nights, and there's really no difference between...
Okay, but even so, younger people tend to be a little bit more,
Now, when you say younger, are you talking 9, 10? What are we talking here?
I'm talking about 18 to 25,
Done.
The people who are on your intellectual level.
Thank you.
They seek that.
Yes.
They
know the
lingo. You
lingo.
ask some serious questions, too.
Very, very rarely, every now and again.
Well, you asked me why I was such a bad person, didn't you, or something like that? Or wasn't that a serious question?
Did I ask you why you were a bad person?
Yeah, I think so.
No,
why
I
are you
wouldn't
the
have done
scum of the earth, O'Reilly? I think that's the way you put it.
No, I wouldn't have put it that way. I think I would have done it, why do you have such je ne sais quoi?
Yeah, something French. We're boycotting French, so I couldn't answer
By the way,
question.
I think I couldn't agree with you more about the French thing. They are such an important country, and I think really deserve a boycott because of the influence they wield in the world.
Well, I know you don't
do a variety of cheeses.
I was just going to say that. You have to have your brie before you go on.
Do you really believe France is in any way worthy of a boycott?
I do. I think France has really hurt the USA, to be all serious.
Really?
Yes, I do.
More than like Saudi Arabia. You would advocate a boycott?
No, I'm not going to say more than Saudi Arabia, but I'm saying we do a lot of business.
Why not boycott them?
France is supposed to be our friend. Saudi Arabia.
Since when?
We're our customer.
Since the revolution, they haven't been our friend.
Okay. When you get a guy like Kerry on,
yes,
and again, he bypassed me, so I took it personally.
Yes.
He went over to talk to
But you and I are not competitors. Let's be frank about that.
We're on our second rerun on The Factor.
I don't mean in terms of, we're not competitors in terms of content. You're a news show, and we are a comedy show.
But what do you want the audience to get out of your discussion with Kerry? Just yucks or anything else?
First of all, I so rarely refer to it as yucks.
Yeah.
And I think you should reconsider.
Okay, I'm sorry about that arcane term.
Schnicks. We call it schnicks.
Okay.
Schnicks and giggles.
Thank you.
All right. I am very uncomfortable going more than a couple of minutes without a laugh, because the same weakness that drove me into comedy also informs my show. So that same, what we call neediness, neuroses.
If you're not hearing the audience laugh, you're getting a little nervous.
That would be exactly correct.
Now,
because it is, at heart, a comedy show, but it's a comedy show about things we care about. So naturally, it's informed by relevant issues and important information.
What do you think Kerry wants to get out of coming on your show?
Like he wants to get what any politician does: access to a new constituency. He wants to get what any marketer. That's exactly right, because the Stone Slackers, this election is going to rely on the undecided. Who is more undecided than people who are high?
Right, that's for sure.
Right now, they're thinking to themselves, ice cream or pretzels? Ice cream or pretzels?
Don't you think that these guys want to be hip? When McCain goes on with you, Bush hasn't been on with you, right? You would remember that, would you?
George Bush?
Yeah.
I don't recall the president stopping by the program.
But McCain's been on.
Yes.
Okay. Kerry's been on, as we mentioned.
Yes.
I've been on. So you've had the three most powerful people beside him on.
That's probably right.
What do you think Kerry wanted to get out of it?
A hug? Just a sweet hug? I'm sure what he wants out of it is, again, that access to, it's the same thing that Budweiser wants out of it. It's the same thing that Dell Computers. No, it's access to this market that may be untapped, an untapped potential, a reserve, an Anwar, if you will. He wants to drill in an area that has previously been undrilled. And don't make a dirty remark about that, because I see it coming.
All right, your book.
But what do you think he wants out of it?
I think he wants to be hip. I do. I think going on your show is a cachet, and he's considered the hipper candidate than the square.
So you think it's not? He's not looking for votes. This is a middle-age crisis. This is a midlife crisis.
He just wants
like
to get that tag
that
he's with it. That's all. And he probably wants to get hair tips from you. Look at the hair. It's perfect. All right, Jon Stewart, buy his book. Here he is, and I'll see you on your show in a couple of weeks.
You will see me on my show.
Right back with Dan Rather. How can you not watch it?